At this very moment, tonight, there is a high-stakes battle underway in the nation's capital. It is an arm-twisting, vote-wrangling, down-to-the-wire, choose-your-cliche effort to get health reform passed. Senate Democrats trying to hold off Republicans while keeping their own conservatives in line. That's the battle on health reform that's happening on the surface. Just below the surface is a battle for public opinion that is being shaped by a lot of different interest groups, but by some groups in particular that are trying to shape the debate while disguising their own role in doing so. As health reform proceeds and these folks get more desperate and more sloppy, some great investigative journalism done recently by the Associated Press, by the Center for American Progress, and by Mother Jones Magazine has uncovered some of the inadvertent hilarity in who's behind the opposition to health reform. If you happen to be an avid viewer of the Fox News channel, you're probably not watching me right now, but let's say you are. You have probably seen lots of analysis on health reform on Fox News by a Fox News medical contributor named Dr. Mark Siegel.
Millions of people are going to lose their current health insurance in favor of this government insurance. The government can regulate the amount of care that's delivered. That's also known as rationing care, by the way.
Rationing care. Millions losing their insurance. Fox's Doctor, the Government's Trying to Kill You, Mark Siegel, was reportedly a senior fellow at the time he made those comments at something called the Center for Medicine in the Public Interest, CMPI. The Center for American Progress today documents how CMPI has been a big player in the anti-health reform movement over the past few months. They've sponsored anti-Obama Tea Party protests. They have organized a U.S. policymaker series that hosts anti-health reform interviews with a not-so-broad range of Republican lawmakers, including Michelle Bachmann, Joe "You Lie" Wilson, Jim DeMint, David Vitter. They've produced a number of anti-health reform online ads and videos and even anti-health reform video games. So, shocker, right? Fox News' medical contributor was a member of a staunch anti-health reform organizing group, this CMPI. But it might also be useful to know that CMPI has also been funded in part by the pharmaceutical industry. According to Politico.com, CMPI's biggest contributors in 2006 were the drug maker Pfizer and Pharma, the drug industry's trade group. Who runs CMPI, the Center for Medicine in the Public Interest, this group? Well, its president is a man named Peter Pitts. In addition to heading up this ostensibly nonpartisan medical think tank, Center for American Progress notes that Mr. Pitts is also the director for global healthcare at the giant PR firm Porter Novelli. Porter Novelli, of course, has a bit of a history when it comes to shilling for the health insurance industry, having helped that industry kill the Patient's Bill of Rights way back in 1994. They said at the time that it was part of a, quote, big government agenda. Why does that sound so familiar? CMPI, of course, would not tell the Center for American Progress who is funding them, but it is true that they sprung from a famous pro-tobacco, ostensibly grassroots corporate front group that was funded by Philip Morris. So we leave it to you to make your best educated guess as to who is funding their current anti-health reform agenda. Meanwhile, the Associated Press this weekend shined another